I just want to ask you, does everybody know what a lemongrass look like?
Yes.
This came from my garden.
Yummy.
Wow.
So,
Organic.
yeah, and it grows like wheat. You buy them at the store and they sell them in bundles of 3, 4, 5, or 6. So then
Is it hard to grow?
Yeah.
they have what?
I use it when I steam crabs.
Steamed crab.
Yeah, lemongrass.
They're very potent.
They it's used in a lot of Thai and Vietnamese, South Vietnamese food.
Really like that.
So I'm gonna send this down. Let's look. I mean, get the dirt out at the minimum. Okay, so
Okay, closer. You can. Should we start? Do you want to turn the camera?
Yeah.
So in my file, I listed the items for the for this dish, and following that, I have pictures of things that probably are not obvious to people, because there's a lot of ingredients here. Do you want to take a look at them and see if there is any ingredients that we have questions about before I get started?
Can you guys all hear okay?
Why is it going on?
Or the oven? It's fine. Can you guys hear okay?
Yes,
All right, cool.
I'm the mediator.
So the ingredients are a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many there are. So I assume that you know what they all are. If not, then just send the questions, text the questions, and then Michi is going to manage that. The following slide will show you what they are. The most important things I want you to look at what a pork shank and the beef shank and beef short rib look like. So you will find it at the market. And the tricky part is shrimp paste. Most of us who are Asians know what it is. And if you don't, there's a picture of what it looks like in the jar. So you can show that picture to the store and then go get it. You gotta have that for this dish. If you don't have it, then maybe you make hamburgers or something. Okay.
This shrimp paste, by the way, is different than the Filipino shrimp paste.
They can hear from here. So.
The shrimp paste, this shrimp paste we're going to use, this is totally different from the Filipino shrimp paste because the Filipino shrimp paste is already cooked. This one is raw.
Right.
So we use the raw one.
So the Filipino has all the other ingredients in it, such as garlic, onions, maybe oil. And this one is basic. And you will find that at any Asian market because Chinese culture, Filipino, Thai, all of the Asian culture use it as for something. So the next ingredient that is not replaceable, if you don't have it, then make something else. It's called Annato seeds.
Okay. See it?
I can show it on my screen. Okay. No?
No, got it.
Okay, so that, and also the noodles are different. They are fat. And in my recipe, I said 2 bags. Each bag is about a pound. But this is the only brand that I can find yesterday at the store. And it's a 3-pounder. You don't need 3 pounds because that's way too much. But if that's the only one that you can find, go for it. But it has to say Bún Bò Huế.
Does that answer your question, Jason?
What did Jason say?
He's like, can I use pho noodles?
Those under bus? I mean,
Yes.
I know what you meant.
The most important thing is the broth. So if your pho noodle is the only noodles that you have, it's not the end of the world.
I've used spinach. What is that one? Oh, I've used yam noodles from the Japanese store, and it worked out okay.
Sometimes I
Healthy.
cheat and I use udon. That works too because I really like the chewy,
Yeah.
fat noodles. And it's easy to find. This one is a pain to make, but I'm showing you as authentic as possible. But you can replace with others.
We'll also, at the end, tell you some of the cheat ways to kind of streamline and skip some of the more challenging pieces.
So today we're gonna show you how to do it as authentic as possible, given that some ingredients are available, some are not. And but this will come closer to the real thing. Okay, so in advance, way before you guys came here, I prepped these following things in advance. I got this boiling water pot, and I turn on the oven because we're gonna grill something in it. And then I mix a cup of onions, yellow onions. I mince 1 head of garlic, and I mince 1 stalk of lemongrass. And then you're supposed to be also mincing some green onions and Thai basil. If you don't know what Thai basil look like, Google it. So the onions, you turn on the oven for 350. Now you put in the onion, the shallot, and the garlic
They can't see it.
inside. I don't have shallots today, so I cheated. I replaced it with 1/2 of an onion. Wish you could smell it. And this is gonna go into the broth, but this is what you do in advance. Okay, next slide. You're gonna be pork and the beef in the pot. Okay, so I don't have the pork shank with bones, and I couldn't find the beef shank with the bone, so I'm using boneless. So this is about how much meat I'm going to be using. This is the boneless shank. I'm going to leave it whole like that.
I don't know how to do that.
And this is the boiling water. I think I'm going to use this pot, the small one. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm gonna boil it for about 5 minutes and then wash it. This is a trick to make the broth clear. This is the shank, the beef shank, no bones, but it's good enough.
Is it better to have bones or no bones?
I like it with bones because the bones add flavor to the broth. Sometimes the market doesn't have it. It's tough, we're gonna have to do it. So dump it in here and bring it to a boil. Okay, it's gonna take maybe 5 to 10 minutes for it to boil. And you let it boil for another 5 minutes. So let's go to the next step after this.
Question, do the annatto seeds have to be whole or can we use a paste?
You can use a paste. Good thing you asked that question because the paste is not easy to find. That's why I recommended this.
She said it was direct.
Other questions before I start with the next one, which is to make the Annato chili oil. No questions. I'm gonna have to use this here. For the chili oil, we're gonna use the onion, the garlic, the minced lemongrass. So what I'll do is I'll put the 1/3 cup of oil into a pan.
More this way.
Oh, take down.
Put everything in here and then I will put it on the stove.
Oh, no, no, no.
So what it's gonna do is it's gonna infuse the flavor of these ingredients and the color of the Annato. See, the Annato seeds have absolutely no flavor. We're using it for color.
I have to do this real quick. 1 hour.
Okay, so it's gonna infuse all the flavor in here. So now we wait.
Do you need this, Matt?
That's for the broth later.
Can you move it over here because they can't see what you're doing?
Getting ahead of myself, I'm gonna clean the lemongrass.
Well, no, because I'm going when I share a screen. It does that.
We're skipping. Or is this the next slide?
No, she skipped to the to prepping the
Another one, the next slide.
which slide is it supposed to be on?
We are on, it
11:30.
doesn't say here.
Oh, okay. So you're just prepping the lemongrass.
I'm cleaning the lemongrass now. Okay, did anybody time? It's about 3 minutes on this. Okay, maybe 2 minutes.
No.
Anybody have any questions so far? All right. And so when you're cutting the lemongrass, what are you doing?
I'm cleaning the lemongrass. This is what you usually get at the store, but because it came from my garden, I got all of these. I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna throw it away. Nothing with flavor in here.
Okay.
So if I have a twine or something, I'm gonna tie it up. I'm still making the oil. So let's go back to the slide before that. I think it's number 6. It says boil the pork and the beef in the large pot.
Okay.
And it's coming up. So from boiling, you time it. Give it a good 10 minutes. You see all this gunk here? That's what we want to remove. I shouldn't have water so high, but I try to not make it boil and then having to clean the stove. Okay, 5 minutes for that, guys. I'll hold it.
So you're just tying that together so that you can fit it in the pot?
Yeah, so that when you fish it out, it's just one packet instead of 20 beans. Saving it, it's full of flavor. So from here, from this boiling point, it's 5 minutes.
Here, give it to me.
Can you show this? Can you show this, Papa? Brian?
Hmm?
Can you show this boiling thing?
Yeah, I showed that already.
Okay, so 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go and take it to the sink and wash it.
You're gonna take that to the sink?
Not yet, 5 minutes. And while we're waiting, I just want to show you how I do the noodles, because they're so dry and so thick, need to be soaked in cold water for 30 minutes before you start cooking it. So this is about 30 minutes and it's still kind of bony. Dry. So you want to show this? So this is what you get. You get the flavor infused from the onions and the garlic and the lemongrass and the color of the Annato that comes out. I'm gonna leave this here. Turn it off. So I'm gonna remove the meat from the pot and then wash it about 3 times in cold water.
And then you just dump that water, right?
Dump the water. Don't do it. No one can camera over the shot. And this step you don't want to skip because you want your broth to be clear.
Bring it down. No. Close that, please. Close it, please.
Run through cold water. Sit down. Rinse the heck out of it.
You sit down.
Mommy, up, mommy.
Next step. This is another pot of boiling water. I'm gonna put the lemongrass and the meat.
Take it down.
What about this lemongrass piece?
Put it on top.
If you want to watch TV, you have to sit down. Well, always say no.
I advise you to learn how to recognize which one is beef and which one is pork, because the pork cooks faster than the beef, so that will be the first one to be removed. Okay, it's okay.
You can fix it.
So we are putting the lemongrass in. These guys that we bake in the oven.
Why, Mommy?
I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of salt. Oh, shoot. And that's it. We simmer it for an hour. So
So much on this side.
watch it so that it doesn't overflow. Let it simmer for an hour. Okay, so let's go back to the Annato chili oil. Remember this part? We're gonna be adding 3 tablespoons of shrimp paste. I have my own brand. Doesn't really matter which one. Use whatever brand you have.
No, I don't like that. I don't want to.
So I have 3 tablespoons of the shrimp paste. I added a cup of water. I'm gonna dump it in here, then strain it. Does that make sense?
Any of this shiz and this stuff on the right side. As long as we get a picture of the pot, we'll be fine. We try and put the stuff in the middle.
If you ever cook with shrimp paste, you know that it stinks like a son of a gun. Really nasty flavor. But you're going to be diluted in the sauce, so it's not going to be that potent. But this is what it looks like. Can you get the camera? A deep color.
Mommy.
So we strain it.
No.
Can you open the lid?
The what?
Oh, I got too much water, so I need to remove some water from here. I don't want it to overflow, because I don't want to clean the stove later on.
Got our little helpers over here.
I wish you could smell this. This is what Bún Bò Huế is all about. That. And to get all that flavor out. Don't want to waste anything. And that's pretty much it. You let it simmer for 1 hour and then go back and check on the pork first. The beef takes a little longer, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour longer.
So what do you do with everything that's in there? Do you throw it away?
Yep. See that red, beautiful color? That comes from the Annato seeds. It doesn't give any flavor. The flavor comes from the onions and the garlic.
The Annato seeds stain, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the part I don't want to do. Okay, after an hour, you check the tenderness of the meat. Fish out the pork first, and it should be tender, but it can be falling apart. That's not good. And if you can add more time, maybe another 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and then you set it aside to cool. And you do the same with the beef shank. I think the beef may take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we'll come back and check after that. So once you have the broth ready and the meat, you take the meat out, let it cool. You soak the noodles in water. You can start cooking the noodle based on the instruction on the package. And when you slice the meat, slice it maybe about 1/4 inch, no thicker than that, or no thinner than that. And then you add fish sauce. Fish sauce. Everybody knows what fish sauce is. Yes. You add about 1/4 cup, and then you taste it. You may add a little bit more, or that might be. And then you mince the green onion, to chop the basil, and you cut lemon lime into wedges. So, and then after that, does everybody know how to serve?
I'll show the paper.
Yes or no?
Assume they don't.
So assuming you don't know how to serve, the first step will be, once the broth is ready, to bring it to a boil. And then you use a strainer. This is the strainer that I use. You can use this. It's kind of hard to find, but this is available everywhere. You put the amount of noodles in here, and then you blanch it in boiling water. You have to do that, because otherwise the noodles are not going to be warm. And you put that noodle into a bowl, big large bowl, deep, because you're going to be using a lot of broth. And then you put the amount of pork and the beef, sliced onions, Thai basil, and then hot broth onto the bowl. Pretty obvious. And that's it. Any questions? No, none,
No questions?
no questions.
Do you have any? Oh, do you have any tips or tricks on shortcuts? You don't want to make it the original way, or you said that there was a couple ways that you could.
There's a shortcut, and there's a couple brands of canned Bún Bò Huế that I've tried, and actually I approve of it. Let me go get you separate.
Wesley, you're on TV. While Bagel gets the.
You say hi, Wesley. Little kiss.
Okay, so this is my favorite shortcut. Only because I believe in the traditional way of making broth. But out of desperation, I tried the canned ones, and actually it comes out like an A-. Okay, so what you do is you follow the instructions, but add lemongrass to it. Give it 2 stalks or something, and the rest will be the same. Noodles, green onions, Thai basil. But the broth, this saves you a ton of time. They have more than one brand. So just pick any. They're all good.
Okay. No more questions, and we'll call it. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Let me know how it comes out. Okay, clean up time. Clean up, clean up.
Bye, everybody.